What's going on, fellas? I'm sorry for all the noise, but this thing can get pretty loud, and got the fume extractor going. So this 2060, it came in. I mean, like someone hit this thing with a sledgehammer. Um, I think this card was probably dropped. I'm not exactly sure, but based on the artifacts that we were experiencing with this card here, I think that this here caused solder joints to crack. I don't see any rip pads so far on the core or on the board, I should say. The core is already reballed. It's the first thing I did. Um, but man, I'm really hoping that it's just shock. That was the issue with this little card. Um, Not much of a value behind this card nowadays. Well, actually, you know what? Consider how crazy and stupid things are going right now with the GPU prices and all that other stuff, memory prices. Probably, yeah, probably get maybe $100 for this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got to clean these pads up and put the core back on, and hopefully it wasn't architectural damage, but rather just physical, and we can fix this up. And my apologies if I bump into you guys, but I gotta have the tripod here, kind of where all my stuff is. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit difficult to do both things at the same time. I gotta check what the temperature is on this thing. Yeah, we're good. Let's start cleaning this up. And I'm gonna put in the comments section. I'm going to put a link to the solder and the tips and all that other stuff that I'm using for this kind of things here, because I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering. I know in the past I haven't done that. I'm getting hit up in the comments, so I'll start doing that. So if you see a tool that I'm using, and I didn't put a link where you can get it, just send me a message and I will do that. I try to answer all my comments or questions, whatever, just so you guys know. It's just send me a message and I will do my best to get back to you. There are a couple of stores on AliExpress that I do not trust, and that's from previous bad experiences. When it comes to AliExpress, man, it's kind of hard. It's a bit difficult to know. I mean, you can go to the reviews, of the product on the page, but who's to say those reviews are real? I mean, who's to say those are not bots? You know what I mean? Or like paid reviews. Like, I don't trust most of that stuff, man. So, but what I do look out for is how many items have been bought. Like of the same thing. Does that makes any sense? Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, but I do look after that. I do look out for that. Right now, I'm using the Cayena, I think it's called, solder from AliExpress, 6337. And this stuff works really well, man. I'm pretty surprised. I mean, I've been stuck with Stanol for a while, for everything. I mean, literally everything. Micro soldering, reballing, everything, and it has worked real well for me. So, but Stanol, man, that stuff it's really, really, really good. Made in Germany. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. I like it a lot. It's very consistent, excellent quality. So if you live in Europe, somewhere in Europe, and you have access to, you would have to look it up on your, somewhere locally where they sell it. Stanol is pretty good at wire, 6337 that is. They're 6040 also, and that stuff works really well. It's so if you want to go for that too, because I use 6040 as well, so I'm not just stuck with 6337. I also use 60/40, and that works just fine as well. Okay, this is pretty cleaned up. Let's go ahead and put some lead on this tip here, because it's very imperative that if you want to keep your tips clean like this, you got to put a blob of solder on the tip before you put it away. Never, ever, 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 ever put your tips away and then turn off your machine without some solder on the tips, because otherwise they won't last you very long. You're gonna find yourself buying tips every month, or depends, you know, weekly or whatever. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this ready for core installation, and I'll be back with you. All right, so now we got our pads pretty cleaned up. So yeah, that's how we want it, for this core to go on there cleanly. And I don't know, man, I'm really hoping that I can bring this back to life, because I like challenging jobs like this. But at the same time, when I don't get good results, you know, because yeah, it's pretty messed up, you know, I have to think like, oh man, what a waste of time. But these are always fun, I'm not gonna lie. I love this stuff. I love my job. This is my reball station. I know it's nothing fancy, right? But it works. I have it, actually this is my stove, but I have a big fume extractor here, you know, from the kitchen when you're cooking, whatever. So I actually use that as my fume extractor for reballing, which works really well. And yeah, this, hold on guys. Yeah, so this is so ghetto. This RF4 hot air station works pretty well. I like the fact that I can have, you know, my settings here, and you know, everything's just, yeah, it's really nice. But there's a but. When I first got this thing, even before I opened the box, I heard something metallic just bouncing around in there. I opened the box, it was inside of this, obviously, the bouncing, the whatever metallic thing, and it turned out to be one of these screws that holds this hose here in place. So right now, I had to glue it with some epoxy there, you know, kind of fix the whole thing, because you can't have just one screw. This, I don't know how long this is going to last. It's a pretty thick hose. So yeah, so if you guys see this, you want a good hot air station, I can recommend this one. Aside from that little quality control slip up, this works great. Pretty good at hot air pressure also, which is pretty important, especially when you're doing reballing. You want a lot of air coming out of this. Yeah, the little ones with the fan and the handle, they're okay. And my main one is one of those, and I do everything with that. But when it comes to reballing, you do need a little bit of extra air pressure coming out of this here. You can get away with the little ones, but I prefer this here, this kind of stuff. So anyway, that's just me mumbling around. Don't listen to me. So yeah, and about this card here, actually this is a donated card that I got from a job. So kind of, you know, you fix this and you can have this type of deal, you know. And I thought I'll use it for parts, because I have a feeling that this core is bad. Like it's defective. Like it's not just because of the drop, because the artifacts that I'm getting is those blue, red, and you know, green bubbles. That's a telltale sign of a bad core. So I'm not holding my breath on this one, guys. I don't know, but yeah, one can only hope, you know. So we'll see. We'll find out here soon enough. It's important also not to put too much flux here, because you don't want the balls to move around once they become liquid. So yeah, you got to put just the right amount. I think that is good there. All right, let's put a core on here. Okay, I think that's pretty centered there. So now we're just gonna wait for the board to reach temperature, and I'll be back with you guys. Normally you want to wait till the board reaches 200 C, but or 200 Celsius, but these are 6337, so lead based balls. You don't have to wait that long. What I am concerned with is this little probe here that I do not want it to kick my core, because it tends to do that once in a while. Okay, that's good right there. Sorry about that, guys. Now let's hit it with some hot air. Okay, this is done here. Now we just gotta wait for it to cool down. All right, fellas, so after a quick reflow, that's all it took. I had failed in my first attempt, but now everything is working, as you can see. But yeah, this is getting a little toasty for my taste. Let's go ahead and put it back together and take it for a spin, shall we? All right, fellas, so we got the little card installed in the system now. Now let's see if there was some hope left for this card. Meaning, was the core still good? You know what I mean? Like, would a reball just fix all the issues with that? Was that it? Was that all that was needed? All sensors are there. Now let's, this is where it usually fails or starts giving artifacts. And before I do this, screw it, let's go. I don't trust it because, yeah, those artifacts are typically when the core has gone bad. And so, yeah, I don't know. But it could have just been that it had cracks all the joints and a reball is all it needed. So far, so good. So let me get back to you guys here. I'm not gonna have you, yeah, waiting this whole time, so hang tight. All right, so it's been running for a couple of minutes. This is a pretty, yeah, extensive and pretty harsh test. Temperatures are looking good. Everything is looking fine. It would have crashed a long time ago. Let's go and run a game engine, because I want to make sure that yeah, the architecture of the card is intact and it didn't suffer something internal, you know what I mean? Like, all right, so we're starting Time Spy. No artifacts anywhere. Wow, okay, so the core is good. It wouldn't run this test before. All right, so yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy that we saved you. I was gonna throw you away or use it for parts, but the meaning of this video is this is one of the worst repairs I've ever had to do, because that PCI slot, it was horrible when I got it. Believe me, it doesn't look anything like what you see right now. It was terrible. So just a quick reball is all it needed, and a little bit of TLC on the PCI slot. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave the video here. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe for some content coming up in the future. I do graphics card repairs to little reviews of thermal paste and, you know, stuff like all kinds of stuff. So subscribe to the channel, hit thumbs up if you liked the video. Didn't like it for whatever reason, you know what to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.